All righty. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. We're starting off the year with an incredible focus called a 90-day plan. So many people that are on this call tonight are really focused on this plan. We're going to talk about what this plan is, how it works, and why it's worth doing. So we've got several people joining us tonight. They're going to put in their 2 cents about this plan. We've got Denny Robinson, we've got Dick and Nancy Walker, we've got Chuck and Tammy Gates, we've got Ed Wiens, and I don't know if Danny Doyle will be joining us or not. He's down in Panama right now. And I'll promote Bo Buck as well. So the 90-day plan started today, and we've got several things in place to be supporting you in this effort. And we just want to make sure that you know that this is happening. And if you're already participating, fantastic. And if you want to participate, just reach out to your upline diamond and let them know that this is something that you want to participate in. So the first thing that we're doing in identifying whether you want to do this 90-day plan or not is really helping people identify their why. And when you identify your why, you send that why to your upline diamond so they understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, so that we can help you manifest what that focus is. So Dick and Nancy, you want to talk about how important it is to know what your why is?
You want to go first?
I was going to talk about actually, why is it worth it?
Okay, perfect.
I could talk about why your why is important because
I already started.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'll just say this, and I won't take a lot of time, because it's something that made a big impression on me, and it's about a poem. And I'm going to paraphrase. Okay, it's a poem about a guy who dies, and he crosses over and he sees God walking toward him with a suitcase. And he says, well, what's in the suitcase? And God said, these are the things of your life. And so he says, oh, you mean like my money and my book collection and my stock portfolio? And God says, no. The things of your life. And so then he goes on, oh, it's my family and my house. And God says, no. And he says, well, what's in the suitcase then? And he says, your choices. And the point is, you are the architect of your life, and every choice you make crafts your life. And so I say, why not do this? What is the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is you learn something. You learn something about yourself, and you might learn how, if you're not successful, you might learn how to be successful next time. And the best thing, of course, is that you reach your goal, or you go up in your rank and your paycheck increases, and you know, you can celebrate. You can celebrate either way. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people, because people have been emailing us their whys and why they want to do this, what they want to accomplish. And invariably, a lot of those whys are financial, is a dollar figure. And I think that's great, because it's good to have a goal like that to reach for. And you can look at the comp plan summary, and you can determine kind of what your goal is for rank to get to there. But you know, the important thing is really not the money. It's what you have to become to earn that money. It's the growth that you do so that you can be a $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 a month earner. Because I can guarantee you that if you kind of establish a baseline of where your life is right now, where you are financially, you know, physically, emotionally, where your life is right now and who you are is a reflection, that life is a reflection of who you are. And if you want that to change, then you're going to have to change. And that's why personal growth is such an important part of advancing. And you can do a lot of personal growth in 90 days. I can guarantee you that. I look at it a little bit like a mountaineering expedition. And of course, if you're going to a big mountain like Everest, it takes more than 90 days to put that together. But really, the whole expedition takes 90 days or less. You know, getting to the mountain, getting up the mountain, after a whole lot of preparation. But if you don't want to get there, and if you don't want to climb that mountain badly enough, if your why for getting to the top is just because it's there, the famous 3 words that Edmund Hillary said back in the 50s, that meant a lot more than you might think, because back then climbing mountains was a real geopolitical thing, and the British were bound and determined to be the first one to summit Mount Everest. It would be the first 8,000 meter peak that had been summited. And so it was a national thing. It was a really, really big deal, in addition to the personal whys that all those climbers have. But all of us, when we climb mountains, have personal reasons for reaching that summit too. And a lot of it, some of it has to do with the fact that it's there and it's a challenge, but there are a lot of different layers to that. And so as you're looking at, putting forth some concentrated, determined, consistent effort over the next 90 days to achieve the goal that you want to achieve, realize that you shouldn't just put that why on a piece of paper and then stick it in a notebook somewhere, or like some of our folks said, I can't even find it. I know I filled it out and sent it to you, but I can't really find it. Well, then if you can't find it and can't remember what you wrote on the piece of paper, then I would urge all of you to go back and spend a bit more time thinking about why this is important for you and how it will change your life, how it will feel, how it will change the lives of those around you. And this is a big deal. And a 90-day push can accomplish an incredible amount and set you up for the rest of the year. It could set you up for the next 3, 4, 5 years if you're really successful in this 90-day push. So don't take this too lightly. Make that determination. You'll be put into accountability groups, so you have some responsibility to that team to help them to work together, to inspire, to just to make sure that, when you tie into a rope on a mountaineering team, usually you don't climb a route solo, you climb it with 2 or 3 other people on the same rope. And you have a huge responsibility to everybody else on that rope, in addition to yourself. So this is a really cool thing. And putting teams together and everything is really great. So I think there's a lot more to this than many people think. And you can come out at the beginning of April feeling really good about yourself if you have a big enough why and you work consistently.
That's great. So let's talk about accountability teams, that the support that's necessary to make it through 90 days, because the first couple of days might feel really good. And then as days wear on, it's like, wow, we're going to do this for 90 days, a 90-day focus. So the support that's there is very, very important. And Denny, I know there's a lot of support on ASEA United, and the main team that you're working with is this accountability team. So make sure that you're in a group of 4 or 5 people where you're checking in with each other regularly and cheering each other on, so that you feel like you're doing this with other people, not just all by yourself. So Denny, you want to talk about the support that's there in ASEA United and how important it is to be plugged into the ASEA United Facebook page?
Absolutely, you guys. That's what we have created, that site for you. We realized we wanted to have a place where we could all come together, where you could come by that warm campfire and you could get those coals warm. So everything that we will be doing, don't feel like you're missing something. Be looking in ASEA United daily. Type in hashtag #Go90Now. Anything that we have put in regarding the 90-day launch will come up. It'll go just like that. And you can find inspiration, motivation, tactile tips, scripts of things that you should be doing. Now, as Cindy mentioned, if you do not yet have a buddy or someone to run with, look within your teams, people that you've met on Facebook that are, in your group, and have an accountability person. Now, you guys, the great thing about accountability, this does not have to take a half an hour of your day. It can be someone that 5 minutes a day, you guys have a phone call. I did this and this and this. I reached out to this many people. I have this many new customers. I have this many follow-ups. Talk about your wins, but do not let this become a pity party, because you've got to be an all-out massive action. Recently we were talking and again, we were talking about, goals for the gym and goals for working out, eating healthy. Someone would never say to you, okay, well, Your goal right now is to go do this for 1 year. No one could ever make that happen. And even right now, we're saying do this for 90 days, which can literally change your life, change your business. But it doesn't work like that, because you don't get 90 days done until you start to have a month done and a week done and a daily activity that's done. Because a great day, week after day, day after day after day becomes a great week. A great week, week after week becomes a great month, and so on. So you've got to get really good, you guys, about having this great big vision of 90 days, but you've got to break it down into, what am I doing today? How many contacts have you been warming up? How many people are you going to follow up with? How many people are you, you got your hot market, your cold market, and your warm market. You guys, your hot market is your friends and family that know you really well. Your warm market is some of your, your collective friends. And then there's your cold market that you don't know yet at this time. And so you should be working in each of those markets over the next 90 days. And we have tips on all of those kind of things. So our conversations on these calls and on the Tuesday calls every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific are going to be all about the 90-day run. And I'm so excited about this shift, because the more people we expose to ASEA, the more lives we change through the product and through the business. And at this point, you guys, 12 years into the game, there's ASEA, the product's not on trial at all. We know what this product does. We're going to be talking a lot more about ATM, how to use that site, expose people to more product. You can be using real redox results if they don't do Facebook. So in whatever way someone wants to expose people to the product and the opportunity, we have that covered for you. So be watching on ASEA United. Thanks, Cindy.
Absolutely. And tomorrow morning, the Tuesday morning, we've got the mastermind mentoring Zoom. It happens every Tuesday morning for people that really want to move their business forward and want to focus on this 90-day run. I don't like to call it a 90-day push, because we're not pushing anything on anybody. It's a run. It's a focused run, putting a little bit more effort that you normally would put in to your business with an intention of moving your business forward and exposing more people to ASEA during this time. So tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Central, and 10 a.m. Eastern on ASEAUnitedZoom.com. You can join us for that mastermind mentoring segment, which is another part of the support of this 90-day run. So Chuck and Tammy, how important is it, a 90-day run? What can it do for you in your life and your business?
I have so enjoyed reading people's whys and excuse me, what they expect this 90-day run can do for their life. And like Dick and Nancy said, it's not all about the money, but it is all about the money, because the money can help you accomplish and achieve some of the things with your why. And I love reading about how people want to be generous, and they want to go on Advancing Life Foundation trips, and they want to give to this thing, and they have this project on their heart. And I just heard something really interesting today, Cindy, about accountability. When we are in our 2022 snowbird season. And so every winter we go south for 3 or 4 months. We're in our RV, and I bring my guitar along with me, and I try and brush up on my guitar skills during the winter when I'm in my RV. That's kind of like my hobby, because I don't have my yard, I don't have my house to clean and things like that. And today I took a lesson on a metronome, and I've always thought a metronome was silly if you're just freestyling it. But the guy said, no, the tick tock, tick tock, tick tock of the metronome keeps you accountable. It's like a drummer in your life. And he says it provides accountability for you. And that's what we're trying to do with everything we're scheduling, is provide some extra accountability too. Our Tuesday morning mastermind, that's part of the metronome, right? We are posting assignments in ASEA United every day. That's part of the metronome. That's part of that tick tock, right?
Absolutely. Chuck, do you have any thoughts or?
Yeah, well, we were, and I wasn't on for the whole thing. Tammy was, I had to step out. But we were on with the accelerator program, and I know there's some people asking questions. If they're on accelerator and they have an accountability partner there, what do they do with the SIA? And I would just tell them, yeah, that's the numbers are going to be the same. So if you're reporting numbers, find an accountability partner, somebody that can relate to you with your business too, and grab a partner here with the SIA as well. But one of the things that was, and it's always been this way, it'll never change. And when you're talking numbers of reaching out to people, people think, oh yeah, I texted 40 people today and I talked to 40 people. No, you texted 40 people. Talking to somebody, picking up the phone, or personally meeting somebody is going to bring you such a different result than it's just kind of like leaving a voicemail and they go, hey, a month from now, they go, oh, I know you left me a voicemail, I guess, a while back. I never did get back to you. What did you want? I'm sorry. It's like, it's a real easy brush off. Don't put yourself in the point where there's people that they're waiting for you, and definitely try to talk to them in person. If you can see the whites of their eyes, even better. We're traveling. Like in just the last few days, I'm talking to people around me. We've got two nurses on this side and two nurses on this side. By the time I leave this RV park, they're gonna know we have something that they deserve to know about. And so what I've already set them both up for is just tell them we've worked in alternative healthcare. You definitely, it may be something for you because you like the RV as well, but maybe not. And if nothing else, you deserve to know about this technology. I'm going to get you some information. And what did they say? They said, yeah, that'd be great. So ask for permission to get them. If not, tell them you'd like to get it to them. But asking and just texting somebody doesn't always get the job done. And when you're marking that thing on your sheets of who you talked to, who you followed up with, texting just doesn't always do it. Not that you can't put those numbers down because you are reaching out to people, but talking to them in person and letting them feel your heart, let them see your eyes, let them know that you really do care and it is something that they're worthy of. And I think that's, one of the things is where people, they feel so let down because they go, oh yeah, I talked to 20 people and nobody responded. What did you do? Oh, I texted 20 people and nobody responded. Totally different deal. Everybody has passion. And when you share your passion and your heart with somebody, it has such a different effect than just getting a text. When you say, I really do have something that I feel that you deserve to know. I've got something, we're pushing this thing. We know this is a good company. We know this product's worthy of your time. Take the time to take a look at this. And I've thought of you. You're one of the people I sat down. Don't be afraid to tell people. I sat down and made a list of people I felt that deserved to know about this, or I wanted to spend time with, or I'd like to be in business with. But don't be afraid to tell people, because what you've just done is you've just elevated them to a level that they feel that they are worthy, that you thought about them. So sometimes you don't, it's easier to go in through the front door than to try to come in through the back door, trying to think, I'll build this up. Just reach out, let them know, hey, I've got something that I really would like you to look at.
Fantastic. So Ed Wiens, I know you've got a lot of people. I don't see your face on here, but I know you're there. There you are. There you are. So I know you've got a lot of people on your team doing this 90-day run, focusing during this time period to really move their business forward. Why is it important to focus on a 90-day run every once in a while?
I think I'm not as tuned into some of the Eric Worre stuff that some of you are, but I know he has said Everybody who's a significant leader in this industry at some time in their tenure has done a 90-day run. And the top earners have done multiple 90-day runs. And, it's a pace that you can't keep up all the time. I think Denny used the term a minute ago, all out massive action. I learned that acronym a long time ago in this profession, all out massive action. But I think, the thought I had today, everybody's defining their why, and probably there's some tweaked definition of security that would factor in everybody's definition of a why. We want security. We want to be secure to be able to do this. We want the financial stability to be able to do something else. That all relates to security. Some people think that's going to come from a job. Some people think it's going to come from, an inheritance. Some people, people are pursuing the quest for security in a lot of different ways. Our profession, in my opinion, is a great option for security, but there's risk on the other side of that. One of my favorite books of all time is Dennis Waitley's book, 10 Seeds of Greatness. If you haven't read this, it's way out of print, but you can go to Amazon and pick it up. 10 Seeds of Greatness, the 10 best kept secrets of total success. Timeless principles in this book. And one of the things that Dennis Waitley said, in fact, I've got a copy of the book that I punched out, 3-ring binder, put it in a binder. I've marked it up. I've taught out of this over the years. In fact, he signed it. I looked at it again tonight. He signed it. He goes, Ed, a winner. Dennis signed it for me a long time ago. But I love this quote because it relates to perhaps the sense of risk that some people are feeling as they step out to engage in something like this. Gee, will I be successful at it? Do I really risk contacting my warm market? Rebecca and I've talked about this. We have warm market, a lot of friends in our warm market circle that we've really not approached. And do we risk the relationship? Do we risk the friendship? Do we risk putting ourselves out there to reach out to maybe put them in the pipeline here? But I love this quote by Dennis Waitley, and I think he relates to where a lot of people might be as they evaluate participating in this push. He said, the greatest risk in life is to wait for and depend on others for your security. The greatest security is to plan and act and take the risk that'll make you independent. I love that. And I think everybody that's visible right here on this call right now at the leadership level has reached some level of independence because you took the risk at some point in your life to step out and engage in this industry, engage in a product that perhaps was really still much of it's something unknown by most of the population of the world, but you took the risk to step out, and that's why you have some degree of security. So all of you that are evaluating this, I just encourage you to take the risk that'll make you independent, because the greatest risk is to depend on something else, somebody else for your security. And the actions that you take over the next 90 days can have an impact over the rest of your life. Sincerely.
Absolutely. And some people have an idea of the 90-day run as being something that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes till midnight. And for some people, that might be what it is. Other people are, I'm going to focus for 2 hours a day with no other distractions on my ASEA business, so you can decide what the 90-day run is for you. The point is that it's a consistent effort of focus for 90 days. And so you define what that means for you in your business. And, you can make that clear to your accountability team. But any other thoughts on this, Danny? What about you? Have you done a 90-day run in your career?
Once or twice, Cindy, just once or twice. Happy New Year, everybody. Great to see you all. I've taken a few notes. First thing that popped up in my head when it comes to having this chat. And obviously this isn't gospel. You've got your own trainers, teachers, mentors, leaders, and upline. So us Aussies are pretty blunt, straight to the point. So hopefully this doesn't offend anybody. I mean, if you can do one 90-day run per year, that's great. If you can do 2, fantastic. If you can do 3, that's phenomenal. I like to do 4 a year. I'm doing it all year round. I just don't stop. So this is by far the best and most favorite activity that I can do, that I know of when it comes to building this business. The best strategy and the best activity. It's called many things. It's called a 90-day burst, a 90-day blitz, 90-day game plan, 90-day action plan, a 90-day challenge. Doesn't matter what it's called. I'm going to refer back to Ed and what Chuck and Tammy preaches. It's 90 days of all out massive action. That's what this is. So firstly, you've got to make a decision to do it. You've got to have a strong, deeply ingrained reason why you're doing it. You've got to commit to 90 days, not for 1 day, not for 30 days, not for 60 days, not for 90 days, not for 89 and a half days. You've got to commit to 90 days. So what's it going to take for 90 days of to maximize your success? It's going to take sacrifice. And this is where I'm going to be quite blunt. Sacrificing things that you want to do, sacrificing things that you have to do, sacrificing things that you love to do in order to get to where you need to get to. I haven't seen my family in Australia for nearly 3 years. I gave up drinking, as some of you know, from my Facebook post over 2 years ago. I hardly watch television. These are some of the things that I've sacrificed and some of the things that I don't participate or don't get to see or don't get to do much of anymore. And I've done it for a reason. I've done it to build my ASEA business and to put as much time and effort into doing so. But I can tell you that these sacrifices are well and truly worth it. These changes in my life and these huge changes in our lives were definitely worth the results that we have achieved. So just to reiterate what these 90 days are going to consist of and look like, you've got to be laser focused, working like that you've never worked before and that your life depends on it, working or burning the candle at both ends. If you've got a 40-hour job and you're tied up with a business that are so many hours a week to generate cash flow, you're going to come out home from that at 40 hours and you're going to be able to, or you're going to have to do 80 hours when it comes to this. I know, Cindy, you're talking about 2 hours or whatever that looks like. As I said, I'm going to be really blunt with what it's going to take to do this. These are the kinds of things and kinds of changes that you need to make and sacrifice and change in order to be successful in the next 90 days. So don't waste time with anybody that's wasting your time. You've heard me say that many times. Our time and all of our time is so precious. Make sure that every second counts this year. Always be conscious of your time. Don't give it away and don't let anybody steal it from you. When it comes to time, recognize the difference between being busy and being productive. There's a lot of people running around being busy, but they're not being productive, and productivity is income generating. I remember having a conversation with Denny many years ago, and the conversation went with, I'm spending 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on a phone call, just going around in circles. And she taught me to really cut things off after 30 minutes and even explain to people that you're moving to another call and moving to something that's going to be productive, not just going around in circles, wasting your time. So I've got some great tips of you leaders over the years that have really helped me personally a lot.
So Dan, Dan, I'm going to stop you there. I just want to reiterate some things he said. You guys, making the commitment. We're asking you to do something right now that many of you probably could not. Most of us couldn't, unless you're superhuman like Dan, sustain this kind of activity for a year. We're asking you to do something that you probably couldn't do for the whole year. And we're also, committing to yourself and to your family, what you want to achieve. And then again, it's about that short burst of activity. Also, did you hear what Dan said? If you've already working a full-time job, you're going to have to set aside when you're going to do this. You're already using all 24 hours of your day, like he said. So you're going to have to cut out other things that maybe give you enjoyment or that you'd rather be doing. Short-term pain for the long-term gains, as we see that are happening here. I promise you, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I have never had somebody say to me, I have a goal of sleeping late every morning for a month, getting up late and doing nothing but watching TV. Nobody ever does that, right? The only reason you're committing is because you're committing to something that's hard, something that you wouldn't normally do, something that you would like to do to stretch yourself. Because as you've already heard from someone else here, it's not about even just what you're going to attain, but I promise you, it's going to be about the person that you become. Because these new practices, these new things that you're not doing anymore, these new, being committed, getting up a little bit earlier, doing some other things, they are going to make you the next best version of yourself. And to me, this wraps it all into what, it's about believing, belonging, and becoming more. And so Dan, please finish where you were going if I didn't confuse you too much, but I had to stop.
No, that's all good.
Great
Thanks.
point.
Thanks for that. Thanks for adding that. So, so I'm going to be honest, guys. I mean, it's a great start you being on this call, but there's only going to be so many people that make the 90 days and do what they want to do. And hopefully that's going to be you, because you are on this call and because you want to do it. And obviously you're committed to doing it. So are you going to be in the 1 in 100 that do get through the 90 days, that do build and create that activity that you're looking for to move your business forward? That's what is going to make you successful in this business. I mean, I'm no different to Danny or Cindy or anybody on this call or to you guys. We're all the same. The only difference is the time and the activity that we're doing and that we're creating to build our business. So can you put your 16 hours in a day and be productive for the next 90 days? Do you have that time? If you haven't got it, put as much time in as possible. It's going to be pretty hard to fail with that type of activity, I can tell you. I've only seen success with anybody that has put in this time and consistent efforts. Don't let another year go by where you're going to regret it at the end of this year. So no regrets here, guys. No regrets at all. Get yourself an accountability partner. You've heard a lot about that on this call. Keep yourself accountable. Envision where you want to be at the end of this year. Don't look back, and make 2022 the best year ever. Thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're to the bottom of the half hour, but I just wanted to throw it back out to anyone that's on the panel. If you have any final thoughts, any words of, wisdom or encouragement or advice for anybody that's participating in the 90-day run, just throw it out before we wrap up this evening.
Absolutely. What we want you to know as well is, even if you maybe are feeling a little overwhelmed, thinking, I can't do this, you guys, we have a platform for all of you. We want all of us collectively to be moving forward, just as we've always coached with a fast forward, that even if you didn't attain the fast forward, there's no failing. There's only failing forward, because you're going to be learning new skills. We're going to be talking so much about contacting, inviting, following up, collecting a decision, using a tool that it's really going to help elevate you in your business. And so, you know what? Even if you don't finish the whole 90 days and it doesn't completely change your life, you guys go out, work on the fast forwards, increase your team, increase your skills, because that, to me, is what this is really all about for all of us.
Fantastic.
Cindy,
Go ahead, Bo.
No, real quick. I just think, the 90-day push, anybody can do anything for 90 days if they commit to it. This business and momentum, they love speed. You've heard that from Tyler Norton. Momentum loves speed. Well, concentrated effort is going to create urgency, excitement, energy, fun on your team and organization out in the field. That doesn't mean there aren't going to be times when you're going down the roller coaster and you're wondering what the heck you're doing. It just means that it takes 90 days to get things started out. With what's gone on in the last 2 years across the world, people are looking for someone to follow. They're looking for someone with a plan, and we have a plan. We've mapped it out. You've seen the paperwork. If you bring someone on board, you know where you're going. They know where they're going. It's all positive, and you want to make an impact. I mean, that's a lot of people's why. You want to make an impact. There's certainly other personal things, but making an impact in the world is huge to me. So basically, if you think about it, I promise you 100% where we are today is 100% dependent on what we've done for the last 90 days. And if you can take your effort and put it in for 90 days, you will see the result. But it doesn't happen tomorrow. That's why this is a 90-day push. So anyway, just remember, this 90 days is going to build up where you're going in your future. And it's very important to your life, your commitment, and to this business. So thank you.
Yeah. Hey,
And Happy New Year.
Hey, Cindy, I want to just back Bo up. You know, the thing is, and Danny as well, every person on this call in your past, if you go back in your mind's eye and think in your past, you either had to move, pack, do something, go on a trip or something, and all of a sudden it was like, I don't have enough time to get this done. And yet you pulled out all the stops and you accomplished it, and you look back and go, wow, how did I get all of that done in that period of time? And now I'm sitting on an airplane, or now I'm in my new house. This happened, and you sit there and you go, patting yourself on the back. I did something that I didn't even think I could do, and you felt so good about it. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
If you don't make it all the 90 days, but if you push and you put that kind of work effort into it, you're going to every day. And as you move forward and more people come into your business, and you're going to find that you're just going to say over and over again, that was worth it. And so there's no way you lose. Just pull out all the stops and go for it, and count on those accountability partners.
Chuck, I have to just because you said that, it was so good. You guys, I have notes that I had written to myself years ago, and I just pulled it up. I had asked, written to myself, am I made for more? You guys, ask each of yourself that. Am I made for more? What will happen when you decide you are worth hard more than just easy? You guys, what will happen when you decide that you are worth hard more than just easy? And that's what we're doing. We're doing something different. And we're asking each of you guys to bet on yourselves. And we're betting on all of us right here to cross the finish line at the same time. And you are always going to be your very own best investment. And that's what we're doing. So don't let those little voices in your head take away any of your power. And that's why you get back into See United. That's why you get on the call with us tomorrow morning. Get on this call every Monday night and be part of this incredible movement.
Fantastic. Any other thoughts from the peanut gallery before we wrap it up tonight?
Hey, you're going to spend the next 90 days anyway.
Exactly.
Guys, you can create something that has such a positive impact in such a short period of time, just in 90 days, that it can change the rest of your life.
Yeah. And there's a synergy because there's a lot of people participating in this. There's a lot of people focusing on this. So you're not in this alone. There's a lot of people that have the same focus that you do. And we're coming together at various times during the week to support each other in accomplishing this effort. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the ASEA United Zoom page for mentoring. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Good night.
everyone.
Have a smashing year. See you guys.